Hello and thanks for joining us on the PM News on Television Nigerian. I am Priscilla Aworm. The police public relations officer, Kaduna State Command Yakubu Sabo, has denied claims that the force had killed 3 members of the proscribed Islamic sect who came out to protest for the release of the leader Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky on Tuesday. Yakubu Sabo denied any form of casualty between the police and members of IMN, stating that they got information that members of the IMN came out to protest along Nnamdi Azikiwe Expressway, Kaduna, and responded promptly.
We received information that some number of IMN members were sighted along Nnamdi Azikiwe Expressway by Kinrua in Kaduna, staging a violent protest, chanting songs that their leader must be freed, whatever will happen, and sort of those violent proclamation. The police had to disperse them adequately, professionally, and successfully. They were dispersed, and the police are still there. Security is well fortified. You can see, since you go around, people are moving about their normal business.
He also said that the IMN as a group has been prescribed by both the state and federal government, thereby making any of the activities illegal.
Back to the proscribed IMN. The federal government of Nigeria has proscribed them as an organization. The state government of Kaduna has equally proscribed them long ago. And not only that, the state government has placed ban on any form of procession in Kaduna to preserve public order and public safety. This is a peculiar security need of the state, and the state government has the right to make such order. The police as an organization is a law enforcer and must ensure that this order, rules, and laws are enforced to the fullest.
In a similar development, the Ekiti Police Command on Wednesday debunked the claim that the police had killed some students of the Federal University Oye Ekiti who protested against epileptic power supply of the institution on Tuesday evening. The protest had led to the suspension of the TAR of the 16 local government areas by BC Fayemi, wife of Governor Kayode Fayemi, by 1 day, while the university authorities had announced the indefinite closure of the school. The institution's authority has prescribed the students' union body, while the TAR of the local councils by the governor's wife continues on September 12th. DSP Caleb Ikechukwu, the police public relations officer of the command, said, however, that he was not aware of any death emanating from the students' protest. Ikechukwu described the death story in a statement he released in Ado-Ekiti as baseless, unfounded, and only intends to incite and create panic in the minds of the peace-loving people of Ekiti State and the general public. He noted that a weapon was recovered from one of the protesting students, adding that he quickly intervened by the police at the scene prevented further damage to public and private properties. Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila and his deputy Ahmed Wase have congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari and the leadership of the All Progressives Congress on the president's victory at the presidential election appeal tribunal on Wednesday. Gbajabiamila congratulated Buhari and the APC in a statement he personally signed. He applauded the judiciary, especially members of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, for doing its job without fear of favor. Gbajabiamila also felicitated with the Nigerians and the entire members of the APC family nationwide for the victory. The speaker also congratulated the Nigerian judiciary for living up to expectations by doing the right thing, adding that with this judgment, a precedent had not set for electoral matters in the country. While saying a statement by his chief press secretary, Umar Muhammad Puma congratulated Buhari on his victory, describing the judgment as victory for democracy and the rule of law. Following the judgment delivered by the Presidential Election Tribunal on Wednesday in favor of President Muhammadu Buhari, the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar have rejected the verdicts and vowed to appeal the judgment at the Supreme Court. Our correspondent Aminu Adamu has the report.
After several hours of proceedings at the Court of Appeal in Abuja on Wednesday, the five-member panel of the tribunal unanimously ruled to dismiss the petition, saying the petitioners did not prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. The party chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uche Secondus, vowed to appeal the judgment, noting that the team of lawyers would study the ruling.
The team will study it and then we'll come out with official statement. This is what we are going to do.
Speaking on the judgment, Mike Ezekome, one of the lawyers representing the petitioners, said they would challenge the misvaluation of critical evidence in the judgment. According to him, appealing to the Supreme Court is as certain as death.
5 very good heads that have had this election petition. At the Supreme Court, there will be 7 very, very good heads that will hear the appeal from here. There's no question about that we are appealing this judgment. A lot of things are wrong with it. Poor evaluation of evidence, non-evaluation of evidence.
In the same vein, the spokesman of the Coalition of United Political Parties, Ikenga Ugochinyere, also rejects the appeal court judgment upholding Buhari's election.
Turned upside down and an insult and provocation on Nigerian people. From the totality of the judgment delivered here today, the Court of Appeal has lost the rare opportunity presented to it by the petition of the consensus candidate Atiku Abubakar to put an end to electoral fraud, leadership incompetence, and imposition of unfit leader on the people. By this judgment today, majority of Nigerians who had believed, though erroneously, that the judiciary was indeed independent, have been brazenly awakened to the fact and correct belief that the presidency had successfully hijacked the judiciary and Nigeria can only expect judgment, not justice.
Meanwhile, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Adams Oshimole, while addressing journalists after the judgment, commended the tribunal's verdict and, however, appreciated the opposition for taking the matter before the tribunal, adding that they all have the opportunities to prove themselves.
For the outcome, we have never had doubt that our president won the election, and but let me appreciate PDP for going to court because listening to the judges, they've helped to, rather resort to self-help. They're choosing to submit to the judicial process to review their grievances. And they've had ample opportunity to lay their allegations, and they've had opportunity to speak to prove those allegations. We've had opportunity to question those allegations, and the courts have arrived at a decision to the effect that the allegations were unfounded.
Other supporters also expressed joy on the victory of the president.
And millions of Nigerians who supported us in the course of this petition. They encouraged us, and we are happy about it. They energize us.
It is declared now. So winner has a match because there must be a winner, there must be a loser. And all the same, because we are not talking about politics, we are talking about the judgment itself. The judgment as it goes, fine and good, but it's for the good of democracy. Then if the loser is aggrieved, then they can go to Supreme Court. So Supreme Court verdict, we finalize the whole thing.
The Chief Judge has already give the landmark judgment, which is a development for democracy. When it happened to APC, it's always democracy in check. But now when it happened to PDP, democracy is a development one that we used to have.
Amina Adamo, TVN News.
That's about all we have for you on the PM News today. Thanks for watching. I am Priscilla Worm. To join us for the World News at 4 p.m.